Hello and welcome to this, a very exciting video, because what is that game in the background that you see? It's not Hearthstone, it is Elder Scrolls Legends. I managed to get into the closed beta, and that means that I'll be able to offer all my opinions and thoughts on the mechanics, on just what's in the beta and what we can assume will be in the final release based on that, and yeah, just basically show you guys the lowdown on Elder Scrolls Legends. Now, there is no NDA on this beta. Before anyone starts panicking for my well-being, don't worry. Basically, when you launch the game, they kind of come up with a pop-up saying, we want you to stream and spread and, you know, offer all your feedback in all the formats, including the video format, so that is what I will be doing. So here we are. As you can see in the background, we have the kind of character selection screen, I would call it. Basically, this is just you setting up your profile, what image you're going to want your character to appear as in multiplayer matches. I don't think it has much impact other than that. However, if you look closely at the writing at the bottom, you'll notice that it actually specifies that certain races or factions actually have minor bonuses in terms of collecting specific types of cards, and this is super cool. So if you want to play aggressively, you can choose the Nords, which, as you can see right now, as a Nord you will more quickly collect cards, rewarding you for relentlessly attacking your foes. You know, as Nords do in, you know, Skyrim lore. Wow, I played way too much Skyrim. I probably won't be doing any videos on Skyrim, to be honest. I might, who knows. But yeah, back onto this. So as you can see on Imperial, you will more quickly collect cards that build large armies, and so on and so forth for all the various races and factions of Elder Scrolls. And this is just so cool, because if you want to push a certain kind of playstyle, you can just select the faction that best suits you. So I end up going with Dark Elf because it's super cool, kind of necromantic type themes, which is just kind of, you know, traditionally quite cool. But yeah, basically what that means is that your playstyle will be supported slightly by what cards you're more likely to find. And I did find out that as playing through the story mode, I will get onto this, but basically you unlock packs from the story mode, and every so often they give you a race or faction specific kind of card unlock. So I would get a Dark Elf card, and that would be a card related somehow to my theme, to my kind of specialty, which in this case is harnessing the power of the Fallen. Whoa! So yeah, that's basically the character creation kind of side of it. And now if we quickly go into the story mode, which is what I'll largely be talking about in this initial video, as that's what is the first thing that happens when you play the game, what you'll realise is that this is an entirely voice-acted story, which in a CCG is quite uncommon. I believe Hex Shards of Fate has a fairly well-written story mode, and Magic the Gathering Jewels of the Planeswalkers might have had a story mode of sorts, and I will be comparing this game to Magic the Gathering Online because it feels very much like that game. Basically, you go from one voice-acted section with stills of like beautifully crafted art of, you know, the main characters talking about the story, and then they'll find a reason to fight someone. You'll go into the game itself, play a game, unlock cards, unlock packs, advance your character, learn the mechanics, as that's basically what the story does. It teaches you the various mechanics of the game, and there are quite a few. And yeah, it's just a really good story mode. Not only is the story kind of fully voice acted, but the characters are really well written. I did laugh quite a few times in the story mode. It's only, I would say, 2 to 3 hours long, but for a tutorial, and an enjoyable tutorial at that, it was pretty sweet. I had no problems playing through that. And I will say that the mechanics in this game are complex enough to warrant playing through all of the story mode just to get your head around it. Some people might not like this, but I will be comparing this game to Hearthstone simply because Hearthstone is the current market leader, and yeah, it's no secret that this game is basically trying to compete with Hearthstone and take some of its audience. And, you know, I have no problem with that because more competition is great, that's fantastic. And I do believe that after playing this game, it has what it takes. It's a really quality game. So on with the story mode, what happens is that you'll play through, as you just saw in the background, kind of a mission. The characters will talk to each other a bit more, you'll have like gorgeous artwork and all that, you'll level up, unlock cards, open a pack or two, and then move on with the story. Basically, what else exists in this story mode is the choice system. So one aspect of this choice system is the fact that, as you will now see in the background, you will start with like the basic cards that exist in the game, and then once you get a certain distance into the story, you'll be given a choice between how you want to upgrade the card. So in this example, you can see that Hive Worker, which is a 4-mana 3/3, can be upgraded to either Hive Warrior, a 4-mana 6/3 with Breakthrough, a mechanic that allows any excess damage from killing a minion to hit the opponent's face, or into Hive Defender, which is a 4-mana 3/6 with Guard, which compared to Hearthstone is Taunt. It's just the Taunt mechanic. So this is a really cool way of kind of engaging you as the player into your choices and into the story, because it stops you from just going like mindlessly playing through the mechanics of the whole game and actually thinking, okay, what do I want? And this forcing the player to make choices that actually have some meaning kind of extends later into story choices. So this game actually has decisions that you have to make that impact the story to some degree. So on screen now you should be seeing, if I've edited this at all correctly, a choice between a Snow Wolf card and a Cast Out card. So basically what happens, this is quite early on in the story, so you know, spoilers alert, if you're that dead set on dodging the story, you know, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. But basically what happens is, minor spoilers, you end up killing a pack of wolves and you find a pup. Now you've got to make a choice between, do you save the pup and adopt it, in which case you would get the Snow Wolf card. Say 2-mana 1/3, it gains +2 attack while you have the most creatures in a lane. Lanes being one of the unique features to this game mechanics-wise. Basically, all lanes are that there are 2 lanes in most games. The right-hand lane gives all your creatures stealth when you first play them, but this fades after 1 turn and battle cries and spells can still hit them. And in the left lane, there are no special effects, and this system basically adds a strategic element to which lane do you play a minion in, which lane do you focus on, where do you defend, where do you play aggressively, and so on and so forth. Or, if you abandon the pup, you get a different card, which has a really cool name, Cast Out. Like, you cast the pup out of your party, you don't want any part of it. And you get this 3-mana Cast Out card, which has the effect of returning a creature to its owner's hand. And the Prophecy mechanic, I will be going through the mechanics in a later video, but basically all the Prophecy mechanic does is, whenever one of your runes breaks, and your runes are basically just sections of your health, whenever you lose a certain amount of health, a rune breaks, and then, well, when you draw a card off of that rune breaking, which is what happens when a rune breaks, if that card has Prophecy on its effect, then you can immediately cast that card, essentially allowing you to actively defend yourself with kind of Prophecy cards, which is a super cool mechanic. So here you've got this choice between, do you keep the wolf, do you ditch it, and that translates into what card you're going to get. And I really hated this choice, I will not even lie, because that wolf is adorable. Props to them for making the art, because it's so cute. But, you know, I figured Cast Out was a pretty cool card. Like, defensively, you take some damage, your opponent's pushing your face, and then you draw this card off of, you know, your rune breaking, and then you just send one of their big minions back to their hand. So yeah, this is just a really cool thing, and this coupled with the whole upgrading a card system, as well as just the high quality of the voice acting and just the writing in general, makes the story mode really enjoyable. So here you can see another choice that I had to make. This 4-mana 3/3 could turn into a Vicious Druid, or whatever it's called, which would be a 3/4 with Summon, which is essentially just Battle Cry, destroy an enemy support card. And a support card is basically just a card with multiple limited uses, like 3 charges usually, that you activate for a certain amount of mana, and then you use it once per turn if you want, for the next 3 turns, gaining some kind of buff or enchantment or whatever. And the other option was a spell kind of equipment thing, which was 4 mana +3/+3, and it's an item, so you can give that to one of your minions, and they've got the buff, basically. So yeah, these systems just work so well, and I have to give ZeniMax just complete respect. This story mode is high quality, and I would play it again if there was incentive to do so. So yeah, that's just my first introductory video to Elder Scrolls Legends beta. I think it's closed beta at the moment, and it definitely seems that it's an actual beta like they are. There's several bugs that I've found already where you hover over a minion and the text that comes up is kind of code text. So that's cool. They're legitimately trying to fix the game ready for a stable launch, bug-free. How many Elder Scrolls games can you say have actually had that? Not too many, but let's just leave bygones to be bygones and maybe just start getting excited for Elder Scrolls Legends, because hey ho, I think I'm pretty excited myself. If you want to start applying to get into the various betas, I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 phases of closed beta followed by an open beta followed by release. So yeah, I mean, I will just say, I'll hopefully remember to put some text at the start of the video, but everything you see in this video is open to change. It's closed beta for a reason. They're still changing the game, still making the game. What is in this video is not representative of the final product, but some of it should be pretty close. In future videos, I will be looking at the mechanics of this game, just to kind of explain the differences between this and, say, Hearthstone. But yeah, basically expect more content on this because it's super cool, and I'm really enjoying it. So thank you for listening and watching, and if you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Ta-ta.